Three, two.
Shit on the mind.
We are live.
We are live on live. With Jays and Grays. Yeah, Jay. All right. Can we get our first viewer or something? Shit. But anyway, hey, look, what's going on Facebook community and anybody else who's chiming in? Thank you for tuning in to our fourth installment of Jays and Grays. My name is Eli Hamilton. I got my friend, co-host, Mr. Dave. Hello, Dave. What's going on, man? How was your week, bro?
I'm good, dog. I am great. I'm looking forward to this Thursday. There's something to do, first of all. You know what I'm saying? Like being as artists, I think that we miss being in a creative space to we can't be on stage right now, right? So this is like the closest thing we can do to tell jokes and have a good time. And then me and you have a good, camaraderie. So it's good talking to you about stuff. So to answer your question, man, I'm fucking great.
That's good, man. Let's be very clear. This is not a Zoom comedy show. We're not doing that shit. Have you did a Zoom comedy show since this pandemic started? I did one and I didn't like it.
I don't do them, man. I've done one and it was literally like my worst nightmare in terms of what it felt like to just be on stage and you have no connection to the crowd. But it's wild. They sent me today the colored mix of my special, like the latest one. And I'm not just tooting my own horn, but I did a fucking good job to be able to do a special in the fucking pandemic and not be able to hear people. Like they put
sounds a little Rudy Tootish of your horn.
No, but they put speakers in like a number of cars. So I could hear like maybe like 30 cars, but it was 200 cars there for the taping at the Rose Bowl. So
you know what? I was really proud of you, man. That was pretty dope. That was the first time I seen something like that on that platform. So kudos to you. I can't wait till March 23rd to check this out, man. You deserve it. Good shit, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get my T Murph on and lose some weight, so I could be out here doing promo on you,
yeah.
But
get it, man.
To answer your question, like for the most part, Zoom shows suck, though. I don't. And I think we thought we were going to be out of this pandemic quicker, so we started doing it. And then people started doing live shows, and now we back to doing Zoom shows again because everybody's like shut down again. But I'm losing my mind.
I mean, there's still comedy shows going on. Go at your own risk. Hey, I ain't mad at you. People want to laugh in the pandemic regardless, so we doing our part.
That's why Joe Rogan moved to Austin, Texas.
Oh, because they wide open.
Left LA. Because you can't do shit in LA. I mean, I know Chicago is shut down too, but Chicago still, I think you can do comedy shows in the suburbs of Chicago. You can't do them in the city. But the South is wide open. You can go to Georgia right now, get it the fuck in. Like we saw with Niche last week, like people out there kicking it, doing whatever.
They kicking it all right. Again, the cure to the coronavirus is herd immunity.
Speaking of corona though, man, a lot of folks have been dying. I was talking to my mom today about this. My mom was like, look, I'm coming for Christmas to see you. I'm not going nowhere. I'm having my mask on. Don't have none of your funky ass friends around me getting me sick. People are dying. Biz Marquis is in a hospital right now. He had a stroke while he was in a diabetic coma. And he had COVID.
But when he died, if he died, no, let me take it back. That was terrible to say. I
right. I'm about to say, goddamn, nigga.
Yeah. But if he dies, which I hope he doesn't, they will deem it COVID. It's been so many people who has been admitted to the hospital for shit that had nothing to do with COVID, but they died from COVID.
Yeah, but I think that there is a link between COVID and strokes for whatever reason. My grandma had COVID. She had a stroke. Biz Marquis got COVID. He had a stroke. Sinbad just had a stroke recently. I don't know if he had
32-year-old man shot 17 times, admitted to the hospital. Unfortunately, died from COVID. Man get hit by a train, knocked unconsciously, bleeding out the ears. Made it to the hospital.
You turn it into your alter ego.
Died from COVID.
Your alter ego, Hotep Hamilton, right now.
7-year-old boy gets attacked by 7 pit bulls, mauled, not to death, but COVID was the cause.
Hotep Hamilton.
Goddamn COVID.
He loves black shit, hates women. Hotep Hamilton.
What does that have to do with hating on women? That has
no. I'm just saying that's what Hoteps be like. They be like, oh yeah, the black man is the king. Shut up, bitch. Like that's. It's stupid.
I'm just saying. It don't matter if you go to the hospital. Look, you die from it's COVID. That's the cause. That's the fucking cause. You gotta go. Look, if you get your arm chopped off, you gotta fucking write with the other hand and put a note on your chest like, bitch, it ain't COVID if I die. You got to put it on live.
Oh, my brother from another mother.
And somehow they're gonna say it was COVID. COVID seeped into the open wound and infected them.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't know, man. Like it's like vaping and cigarettes. Like we don't know the effects of. We have no idea what COVID is doing. Like we don't know. Like we're gonna come back to this conversation a little bit later. But
I went to this co-working space yesterday.
You said what?
I went to this co-working space that I'm a member of yesterday, and this dude was in there coughing like a motherfucker. Not that look and get back to work. It was, and first I tried to ignore that, and I'm like, God damn, bro, you ain't got no mask on in this bitch or nothing. This is the second time I've seen him do this shit. COVID having ass.
That's the most.
You don't even feel sorry for people.
Man, you can do to somebody right now.
You I'm like, man, is you okay? You need to go to the hospital. Like, damn, bitch, all that coughing and shit you doing.
That's the most rude shit you can do to somebody. Is sneeze, and now you got a damn near. You ever try to hold in a sneeze? You know how much that hurt? Like, have you ever held in?
It's like having to go take a piss and then stopping in mid piss.
That's not how it feels. That's not doable.
It's doable. That shit feel like syphilis. Not that I know how syphilis feels, but I mean, if you want to know how syphilis feels, peeing. That's
a pretty exact reference.
I just heard that it burns, and I know when you peeing and you right in the middle of a good ass pee, and you stop peeing, that shit burns. Ah, shit! Like, why you stop peeing? I just want to see how syphilis felt. I see how it feels. I don't ever want to catch syphilis.
I think that's a good segue to say rest in peace to the tiny Zeus Lester who died today.
Oh, Debo?
Debo is dead.
Oh, damn. Debo passed, bro.
At 62, man. Like, I don't know what it is about.
Don't say COVID.
No, we don't know yet.
That's what they're going to say.
Fuck. And I used to see Debo at the California Fish Kitchen up the street in Culver City, and he would always be chilling. And that was like maybe a few months ago, because he didn't live too far away from me. But we done lost a lot of bald-headed, relatively young brothers, man. Michael Clark Duncan, Debo. I don't have nobody else, but I that was two.
You said a lot of brothers. You just named two people.
I mean, you know how you say something, but then like you don't really have it all. But he's like,
what if they come back? What if they come out with a breaking news and say Kobe actually passed from COVID? I'll be done with it.
Kobe was. Now shut your ass up, because now you new
details has just come out that famed superstar Hall of Fame basketball player Kobe Bryant actually didn't die from a plane crash. He had COVID.
They about to flame your ass.
I didn't say it.
Who the fuck did say it?
The COVID people. Who is the people that come out with these ridiculous ass reports?
Okay. Well, anyway, rest in peace to the Debo, man. I think that it's crazy that Instagram does that thing when like people die, they post a picture up of them. I get so sick of that, but I don't really know what else to do. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that like we talked about Debo on a day-to-day manner, but it's just fucked up that he passed away. They found him unconscious at his apartment. So I don't know.
That's you know what? That's one of my biggest fears is passing away.
But
for like
by
a couple
yourself?
days and nobody finds me till like 2-3 days later.
That's why you stop being a thought.
Can you please like link that correlation?
You need to find some loves so that you can die next to somebody, as opposed to just dying on Backpage with your laptop out. Wouldn't that suck if you died and they come and find you and it's just like the nastiest porn on your screen when the cops come in like it's like somebody like fucking a raccoon.
Did he die jacking off?
It's like on a loop.
That was a hell of a nut. There's gonna be motherfuckers like, how do I bust a nut like the dude who died from busting a nut last week? I need to bust one of them nuts.
And then like it's 2020. So
has anybody ever died from masturbating? We gotta look this shit up on Google.
You know what they're gonna do though? They're gonna make a challenge of it. They're gonna make like the bust a nut challenge, right? And people gonna try to like die. It's gonna become a hashtag.
Hold on, we got some viewers right now. If anybody viewing right now, can y'all Google has anybody ever died from
please
busting a nut?
Well, hold on now. You got a producer for this. So there are 100 people a year that die from busting nuts.
What?
100 people a year die from masturbating.
How old are they?
Wide age range, all ages. But most of them are over 50. I'll tell you that. Most of them are over 50.
You gotta have a weak ass heart to die.
You sound real
Busting a nut. Oh shh! That's like the last of your energy.
So E-Dot,
what's up?
Speaking of COVID, this vaccine is coming out.
I'm not fucking with it.
Are you taking it?
Hell no.
Why not?
Because Tuskegee fucking experiment. This what I'm going to do. Look, if y'all are so important in the White House and on Capitol Hill, why don't y'all try it out first? Because how many people did Donald Trump infect when he had COVID?
I think Trump had it. Remember when Trump was sick and he came back like a day later and was like, like he was all like pumped on steroids and shit. Like I think they gave it to him like maybe like a month ago.
Look here, man. Y'all let them take it first.
Let who take it?
The people, anybody who work in the White House, take the vaccine first. If they be like, we ain't gonna do that shit. Like, what you mean? Shit. Ain't you part of the fucking citizenship of the United States? I mean, when y'all get off work, don't y'all go to the grocery store? Huh?
Me and you tend to not see eye to eye on various things. So I think that within a reasonable time, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna say like within a month, maybe. If I see that, it's effective, and I'm gonna be outside rollerblading with no mask on, singing that. What's that TikTok video of that dude that went viral? And he was just like sipping cranberry juice. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
And he was singing like some whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
This was gonna happen. You're gonna be goddamn rollerblading, and all of a sudden you're gonna have a tail wrap around your fucking legs, and you're gonna start growing hair, and you're gonna turn into a fucking werewolf. Like, what's going on?
Nah, man. I think we're gonna have to take it at some point if you want to go back out to the world. They're gonna track it too.
Now, if that vaccine give me like some mutant powers, like Spider-Man or some shit, yeah, I might fuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
The mutant power is being able to go outside again.
No. If that's the case, there's a bunch of mutants in the hood because these motherfuckers out here. They don't give a fuck.
I'm not fucking with them with them hood fifis. I want to go out.
Look, if the COVID vaccine could goddamn make me fly or make me invisible, yeah, I think I'll do that shit.
How about it just stop you from getting COVID?
How about it's not that easy, sir?
I'm just saying, like, I think as black folks, we got to stop being so like conspiracy heavy. Like, oh shit.
And stop trusting everything too. That's the problem. We trust everything except from each other. If I tell you, hey man, like the COVID vaccine works, motherfucker, like, get the fuck out of my face. But if I came like, hey guys, this COVID vaccine is amazing, niggas gonna be like, straight up, let me get some of that shit. Let me get a shot of that COVID vaccine.
But we went through vaccines with other stuff too. I mean, at some point you gotta accept it. What, like polio? What?
I heard somebody call polio last week. I'm like, how the fuck you catch polio last week?
Well, I'm saying people probably didn't believe back then either, though, bro.
Oh shit! What you mean polio wasn't an epidemic? Motherfuckers still catching old ass diseases. I caught the Black Plague.
You said polio wasn't an epidemic. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It absolutely was. I won't call it a pandemic, but it was a very bad disease.
Okay. Have you heard of anybody since you've been living in your 39 years of life who had polio?
No, but I'm saying that. But they came out with a vaccine
last week,
and then people had to take it at some point.
So I didn't get shots. I've never gotten shots. I never got shots when I went to school. I didn't get the chickenpox shots. I didn't get none of that shit, and I'm fine. Look at me, I'm healthy. Different. Right.
Like, so you never been vaccinated for nothing?
Never.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, keep living. I mean,
I take shots. I take shots of Tito's, bitch.
You sound so goddamn ignorant. Like, all right. I will be at the Bulls game. Turn the fuck up, and then you're gonna try to get in, and they're gonna say, "Oh, you haven't taken the vaccine. Take your sick ass home."
How they gonna know I ain't took the vaccine?
Because they gonna know.
No, they gonna scan like your wrist or some shit, and you gonna have like your wrist gonna glow blue, and like, oh, he good. This some goddamn. What's one of them fucking futuristic movies or some shit that came out?
Bro, something like
that. Yeah.
But it's also very easy for them just to have your cell phone and show that you take it, and then you scan it, like boom, you can come in. Let me get a
screenshot of your COVID vaccine confirmation.
And you know, black folks is gonna be selling them shits in the hood, like, yo, I got you, like EBT cards. It's gonna be that you took the vaccine.
Like I said, I'm not taking the COVID vaccine. I'm good. And, you know, thank God I haven't caught it COVID yet, you know, but COVID has affected certain people differently though, man. You know, I thought I had COVID last week, and I'm like, my body was aching, and I'm like, oh shit, it was leg day yesterday. I'm just sore. And
you definitely had COVID.
No, I didn't. I was fine the next day.
COVID. Trust your instinct.
No. Definitely did not have COVID. What else is going on, man?
You can't even taste that lemonade that you're drinking right now.
Oh, this shit tastes delicious. Talia Tea, sponsored by Chummy's Organics. You guys should have some. They're great.
Is there a slogan for this brand?
This shit fat. That's it.
That is the worst slogan I've ever heard in my life. Like, that is actually no. I've heard some bad slogans.
No, actually, our slogan is taste happiness.
But it's for edibles, though, right?
Yeah, you get happy when you do edibles.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Taste happiness, share happiness. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty positive. Yeah.
All right.
What else we had happen in the news this week, Dave?
I'm gonna keep it moving, bro. You told me about this story. I hadn't heard about it, but you might be a better person to bring this up. But apparently, it was some dude that was letting a woman know that she wasn't as high on a totem pole as she thought it was. Like, I don't know who this person was or in what context it happened, but maybe you do.
Oh yeah, so it's a video that's been viral, and everybody probably has seen it because it's been shared over 1 million times.
Everybody has saw this.
Yeah, they should have seen, witnessed, but it's this guy named Kevin Samuels. He has a YouTube channel, and he basically discusses red pill content, high value men, and whatnot. And
It's called what content? Red pill?
Red pill content.
What does that mean?
Well, red pill content is like, I guess it's mostly like for like alpha men, you know what I'm saying? It shows you how to like be a real man or whatnot. And then blue pill is like people who are like betas and shit. But anyway, people watch his show, and so a woman had called into his show for some advice, and stated that, you know, hey, you know, how do I get a man that makes six figures, that's over 6 feet with a six pack? I want a high value man. And he was and she was like, I don't want to. Basically, I'm not fucking with no average dude. So the guy was like, okay, well, what is it that you know what I'm saying? What it is about you? And he was like, you're average looking at best, so you can't attract a high value man.
Now, I saw her picture. She didn't look bad. Like, wow, and I saw him. What makes him the authority to speak on how on what she looked like, and like why did she take this?
Well, it's not. Well, maybe she had low self-esteem. I don't know. But I mean, a lot of people, I looked at a lot of the comments on various videos that were shared. And from what I've seen from men and women, a lot of them like, well, he got a point, but his delivery was kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
We gotta stop doing that shit though, man. Like, I mean, I don't.
But it's not like he chased her down. She called in, and okay, that's like a chick playing you to the left. That's average. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of not that attractive looking people. I'm not even gonna say women, but people who basically play people to the left because like you ain't on my level, you ain't on my caliber. But if you take a look in the mirror, it's like, who are you? Like, everybody got their own taste though, right?
Was she being rude?
Nah, she wasn't being rude.
So I'm saying, what gave him the authority to even come at her like that? Like, I could see if she was like, I'm all that. I'm like, but to my knowledge, she wasn't saying none of that. I'm saying.
Did you see the video?
No.
Yeah. Well,
I'm asking you. I'm saying, was she coming off like that? Like, I
no,
deserve this.
She just basically, so the video that was shared started at the point where he started, I guess you want to call it chastising her. So she was basically just stating that, hey, how do I get a high value man? I make 6 figures and I should have a high value man. So he started asking her questions to see if she qualifies for a quote unquote high value man because he deems.
Pause right there though. Like she's just asking the question about how can I get that? She feels like I make a certain income. Why can't I find somebody who's in that similar bracket? And I feel like for him to be like, well, pause, you ain't all that. That's kind of fucked up.
Well, again, we didn't see the whole video is shared, but from what was understood, because I only seen from what the part that where you start talking at, is that she's like, look, I can't fuck with no average dude. How do I get a high value man? So he was basically saying like, yo, okay, so let's talk about you. So you want to get a high value man? You look like, he didn't even say you look average at best. He says, what do you rate yourself? And she said a 5 in the morning, but when I put myself together, a 6. But I got a body and I make 6 figures because I own my own business. And he was like, all right, cool. He said, you got kids? I got a 13-year-old. He said, so you're a single mother. You rate yourself like a 5 and 6 or whatever, but you feel like you deserve a high value man, meaning that you are too good for everybody else that's not 6 foot, makes 6 figures with a 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? So he basically kind of just took her down to reality and humbled her. But a lot of people looked at like, yo, that's fucked up. Gotta allow some people like, yo, you got a good point. You know what I'm saying?
Because like, what is reality? What is reality? Like reality is what we make it, right? So who's saying that this man's word is like if we have reality, then we have what's real. So who's saying what this dude was saying was actually like the truth?
Well, Dave, there's a whole community for this red pill on YouTube, and it's not just him. It's a lot of other influencers, and it's a lot of other bro. You got to get on YouTube. It's a lot of men who has these type of channels. It's a lot of women who got these type of channels. Like
just because somebody has
men
that
trash channels and women ain't shit channels. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, but that don't mean that it's like it's valid. You know, it's a lot. It's a
None
lot
of it is valid. It's based on your opinion.
It's a lot of women haters out here, dog. Like it's a lot of men who fucking hate women, and they won't. And I know comics, like I know people who they just don't like women. They'll never say it, but then you put you root this whole thing in like this is the truth. I'm the alpha man, just saying like what it is. I'm like,
but it's all opinion based. They just like how you got an opinion. That's your opinion. You know what I'm saying?
But my opinion is that there is no truth.
Again, it's your opinion. That's your opinion. People base that off of like their own experiences. People base that off of like other.
That's a fact that there is no one truth. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you got different people, you got different beliefs. So like that's a fact. So if you have all these different people who believe all these different things, you cannot have one truth, because you might have somebody who agrees with you, and then you all have your own demographic, which is cool. But I just can't look at this man's word as being more valid than hers. That's all. I'm not coming to her rescue. I don't know this woman for anybody, but I'm just saying like.
But okay, so Dave, back when you were single, have you ever shot your shot at somebody?
Yeah.
And she might have dismissed you, right? Bogusly, not say no, thank you, I'm sorry, I'm fine. All right, you got to eat that shit. Like, all right, whatever. But like, excuse me, you like, damn. And then
I ain't never had nobody shoot me down like that, dog. Nobody like I've had women.
Have you ever saw somebody shoot somebody down like that? It happens, bro. It happens. But what I'm saying is this, you know, you could be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This motherfucker thinks she like a 10. You know, she got the attitude of a 10, but the reality of a 4 or a 5 or whatever. Bro, look, let me tell you something. Men, we are visual people. Like, we visual. You know what I'm saying? You know, we judge off of based on what we see. If I shoot my shot at you, it ain't because I think that, man, she must be a really nice person. I think I can look through her soul. She seems like a wholesome hearted. Look at her batting them apricots. She must be making that for her grandma, her sweet. Hey, excuse me. No, motherfucker, damn, her ass fat, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Or she bad. We visual. That's how we come at people though. But if she like bogus as hell or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And she dish you bogus, you know, maybe she got a man, maybe she just ain't interested, whatever the case is. But I'm just saying, you can't negate the fact that people are not looking at people from a visual perspective.
I mean, you got to be careful about what you say is for you as opposed to as what men like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I wasn't saying for me. I was speaking in general. But I mean, it's that is a truth. We are visual. We are visual creatures. That's truth. You are too. I don't give a fuck what you over there trying to act like you're not. You are, Dave. Like I don't know you. Get the fuck out of here.
I have ascended.
Get your ass
I mean, I think you have to be attracted to somebody initially, but you know that shit ain't gonna last. If you meet somebody who's attractive with a nice body and then y'all do whatever.
Hence the dating scene in 2020. None of that shit. A lot of these things don't last like they used to because people go into them with the wrong mindset. You know what I'm saying?
This is a good segue though. This is a good segue because I see what's his name, Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
As a hater. A woman hater in some ways, in terms of not even a woman hater, but like he hated her in terms of like who she was, because she just spoke like her truth, like, hey, this is what I want, and he was like, yo, you're not good enough. And I think that anybody should be able to express what they want in life, but that's kind of what the definition of a hater is. You say like you want something for whatever reason you want it, and somebody's like, no, you don't deserve that shit. Who are you to tell me what the fuck I deserve?
I mean, that's true indeed. So I think to even have this conversation, we have to unpack the whole concept of hating, right? First of all, I think that let's be honest. Everybody that you think is hating on you ain't fucking hating on you. You know what I'm saying? What
are they doing?
Well, that's like somebody like such and such as a hater because they may have disagreed with you on something. That's why I say everybody who say somebody's hating on them ain't necessarily hating on them. Like if I disagree with something that you say, I just disagree with you. That don't mean I'm hating on you. That don't mean I'm a hater. I just don't agree with that. You know what I mean? There's also something about the whole concept of hating is how do you even accept when you are being hated on? I think initially, and just by human nature, people want to be liked in general. So when you first start experiencing the haters, and you're like, damn, why don't these people like me? What did I do wrong? I mean, you kind of like, you like, man, what the fuck? What's going on? Right? After a while, you're like, I ain't did nothing to them. Fuck them. They just haters. I never realized why people hate on LeBron like that. LeBron he's done a lot of great shit off the court. He's a great basketball player on the court, but he gets a lot of fucking hate. They scrutinize him for every single thing that he does. Now, are these people haters? Hell yeah, they haters. Skip Bayless, he a hater. He hate LeBron James. He can't never say nothing good about LeBron James. I'm not a LeBron James. I'm not what they call a bronzexual, but I think he a dope ass basketball player, and I think he do some great shit off the court. He been married to the same woman since
you respect him.
I have a lot of respect for him, and I'm not even a LeBron fan like that. I just think he can hoop.
Well, I think that's a big part of being a hater. So you don't hate LeBron because you have the respect, but a lot of people don't have the respect for other people, which makes them a hater in the first place. And me and you work in a very, very competitive industry, the entertainment industry, as comedians. And I even think in Chicago, when I was living here, it was amplified more just to see a lot of the things that would happen on the local scene, because it's so many small opportunities that come out of Chicago, and it's more happening now, but there wouldn't be a lot of opportunities for shit to happen. And you might get an opportunity to go to LA or New York for something. And in our mind, we think like, oh, it's going to make our career pop. But in reality, it's probably not. It's going to probably like make you go to like another notch on the ladder of like where you headed, but it's not going to make you or break you. But we just see it as like, oh shit, man, it's my opportunity to fucking make it big. And if for whatever reason, it's a lot of like competition as opposed to saying like, let's just create shit with each other and build, and then let's pull each other up. It's kind of like, it's kind of like the mentality like there can only be one. You hear what I'm saying? Like there can only be one that's gonna make it, and it's gonna be me. So fuck you, right? So therefore, you would see a whole lot of stuff, and I feel like that's just like the Chicago mentality.
So why do people feel like that? Because that could be defined as a crabs in the barrel mentality, which is the same thing that's been going on for years all over the place. I think the crabs in the barrel mentality is more prevalent in the Black community than anything. I believe so. As a black man who lives in the Black community, I see it. Who was raised around predominantly Black people, I see it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it stems from, it's like, oh shit, the opportunities are about to run out. Let's be clear. Let's be clear, right? It's enough money to go around for everybody, right? It is. Let's root it in that. You know what I'm saying? But the whole fact is like, if you make it, you know, are you going to come back and get me? Or the fact that it's just you. I don't think that you deserve this for whatever reason. Maybe because, you know, I haven't seen you put in the work like me. Maybe because you're not as funny, or I don't think that you're that funny. But in behind the scenes, you probably don't work as hard as this dude either, though. You know what I'm saying? You probably feel obligated.
Exactly.
You feel entitled to this opportunity, and you ain't fucking work for it. So you want to hate on this person who busted his ass for it.
There's this new app that's kind of the rave right now called Clubhouse. And Clubhouse is a hater because it hates people who have Androids, because you cannot join Clubhouse unless you have an iPhone, right?
Who started that hating ass shit? Because I ain't got no fucking iPhone either.
I was team Android for a long time. I was like, you know what? I don't see why I need an iPhone.
You was team Metro PCS because you used to have some bullshit ass phones.
First of all, my phone worked. I had Cricket. Cricket never did me wrong at all. But people would hate the fact that I would text them with green bubbles and respond like, "Oh, this nigga got green bubbles." Like I was some like broke peasant bitch. Like I'm just like, my phone work. I can text you dick pics. Like not that I was doing it, but I'm just saying like it's functional. You know what I mean? So I don't see why people.
You know what?
I don't see why people put so much judgment. I text somebody one day. I got an iPhone now, right? They're like, "Oh, you got blue bubbles."
Well, let's say one thing. Let's say this about Hayden. Hayden is also entertainment. Negativity is entertainment.
Negativity.
Toxicity is entertaining. People want to be entertained. You know what I mean? If everybody was nice to each other and everybody was everybody's cheerleaders, that's a perfect world, which we do not live in.
It'll be boring.
You gotta have some antagonists in any type of situation. And that's exactly what hating is. And it's not, you ain't even gotta create it, it's just there. It's gonna happen. Got a new whip, hate. You know what I'm saying? People, I see this. I think people who has to gloat on every single accomplishment, I think they were former haters. Like, look at me, yeah, I can get it too, ha ha. And motherfucker they've been hating on probably ain't even studying that shit. Like, you probably like, yo, that's what's up, man. That's good shit.
Or they were hated on. Like,
which brings let's put a pin in that too, because if they was hated on, right? You know, how do you accept being hated on? We said that, like, first people, like, they confused. They don't know why people don't like them, right? And then you stop giving a fuck. You know what I mean? So if they've been hated on and you actually understand what's going on, you don't feel like you ain't got shit to prove to them former haters. It could be like a subliminal motivation. Absolutely. That shit motivate. When people tell me I can't do some shit, man, that shit motivates the fuck out of me. I'm like, all right, bet, watch. Yeah.
I always go back to the most meaningful night I've ever met you. I've never seen you as motivated as the night when Mary Lindsay told you didn't have it, and then you was about to drive your car into a wall on King Drive and kill yourself and everybody who was on King Drive.
That was a motivating factor. But I don't necessarily think she hated on me. I just think
no.
opinion.
She didn't hate on you. But that night, and let's be honest, our show did not do that well. We didn't sell enough tickets or whatever, and Mary was in her feelings that night, right? So she took that shit out on you because you were like just somebody who was in front of her at that time. But we all have moments like that. We all have moments like, I remember I was driving rail one night, and he was like, "Man, you know, you gonna be like a writer. I can't really see you as a comic." And I was like, and then, like, as that tear welled up in my eyes, I was driving him home that night. Like, I'm gonna show you, man. I'm funny.
So
I'm funny.
Thing. But so to that point right there, you know, if you are confident in your abilities and you confident in yourself, you can give a fuck about what a hater think. You can give a fuck about,
but you still want the love from your.
You still want the love, but you ain't gonna get the love. You're gonna get the love from strangers before you get the love from people that you know. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. Because don't nobody even really know you. They like, oh man, I know you as a school teacher, a comedian. I mean, that's pretty cool, but come on, bro. You a fuck.
I definitely got a lot of that. Like, you ain't even funny like that. I'm just like,
yeah. And the thing is that it agitates me about haters or negative people, whatever, one and the same, is that a lot of the time these are the people who ain't never tried to do shit else in their life but just live by the book. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never had the fucking balls to go out and try anything or do anything, start a business, whatever, get on stage, do something that's not ordinary, but want to sit up there and point fingers and scrutinize.
That's why I got so mad about that Kevin Hart special, because people just were like, "Oh, this shit is not funny. He needs to stop doing stand up." I'm like, this man can do whatever. Anybody can do what they want to do, right? If you don't want to watch it, you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, you might even have to like it, but to get on a public forum and say I don't like it, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to like rally the troops? Like, hey, y'all didn't like it neither, right? Everybody, let's come in and let's criticize this shit and talk about how we don't like it, right? That's like how you don't. Okay.
We talk about that for 1 second. What you just said. People don't realize in the day of social media right now who's watching. It really, like, I know last night we were kind of shooting the shit on IG, talking about movies we didn't like, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought about it, and I was like, it's no point of me saying what I don't like. You have no idea who's watching whatever you're talking about. Let's say somebody made something that I didn't like. They're like, oh, you don't like my shit? They don't know. They don't even know me like that. They're like, man, fuck that dude. Right? Not even that I'm a bad person, but I was just talking shit about something that they did. It serves no purpose to be a hater at all.
that just goes back to the point of how do you accept that negative criticism, i.e. hating. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I think that if you're getting a lot of people hating on you, you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't never did nothing negative towards anybody and you just kind of keeping your head down, doing what you do, and people are hating on you, you are doing something right. People are intimidated about people that's close to them or they just know or have access to that is elevating up in life. And they not doing shit. So hence the point is, look, you need haters. Haters, I look at it's almost like confirmation. How you deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You keep them away from you. You don't want that negative energy towards you, but it's confirmation that you're doing something right. You know,
I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I think we're making two different points though. I'm saying that to hate on somebody in the digital age that we live in right now, where everything you say is a receipt, everything you do is a receipt. It's stupid. And now people have kind of mastered the art of hating without saying nothing, right? So you can kind of feel, you know, when people rock with you. And I ain't talking about when you get money and everybody be like, oh man, what's up, big bro? Because you know when they call you big bro, you done found some money, right? Mm-hmm. But it's no point of publicly saying to somebody, oh, this dude ain't funny or whatever, because if people find out about that, they're going to cut you off. I remember this situation happened, and I'll say this on this podcast. This was a very bad thing for me, and I remember I looked at like Deion Cole as like a very, very like icon to me. I still do, but I was saying something out of context that he found out about, that I wasn't even like hating on him, but it sounded like I was hating on him. And it was a long period of time where Deion Cole was like, man, fuck that dude. He didn't even know who I was. And Little Rail had to come to Deion and be like, yo, Dave is a good dude. Fuck with him. Mm-hmm. And me and him squashed that shit and we talked about it.
And so where at what point did where was the hate in this scenario? The person who told Deion that?
Two levels of hate. For me saying something that was not in a positive light, something that I shouldn't have been saying anyway, but also somebody running their mouth to him. So it's two degrees of hating going on in this conversation. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about that second one about who snitched on that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't control that. But I shouldn't have been running my mouth anyway.
So was that necessarily okay? Let's talk about the person who went and told him that. Was that hate, or was that just somebody trying to get in somebody else's good graces?
But that's the same shit.
So it's stepping on people's neck to get to the top hating. Yes,
absolutely. I remember one time. Remember that room that I used to do in Forest Park, Watch So Serious Sundays. Mm-hmm. You know Leroy Hawkins from Chicago PD. He was on stage doing a joke, and he was doing like a hood rat joke, and he made the hood rat hand. Mm-hmm. And me, I ran and told Rail like, "Oh shit, he doing your shit." This is like 10 years ago. Me trying to just like be in Rail's good graces, like I'm a snitch, right? And him and Leroy's are like this to this day, right? So, but guess who's not like this to this day?
Yeah,
me and Leroy.
So that shit backfired on you.
Well, why should I have done that in the first place?
Well, let me ask you a serious question. Have you been cleansed of your hating ass tendencies?
I've learned, because I think we all have a tendency at times to like want to be like, oh shit, this is happening, and just kind of like spill the tea at times. But that's not okay. I've learned that despite what may seem fun to gossip about is not something that you should be engaging in. And it's not easy to do that, because it's entertaining. Me and you, like, let's say we talking, having a drink, we can shoot the shit about what's going on in comedy and laugh about Chicago comedy, whatever, politics. But it takes strength to be like, I'm not going to engage in that.
Real talk. Don't take strength, man. Just say like, man, I got better shit to really focus on. When you start, I think of like when you really get into your own zone, when you get in your 2-3 or whatever you want to call it, you don't really give a fuck about what nobody else is doing. You really don't. And a lot of times it's not even willpower or restraint to not engage in a discussion that's bashing somebody else. You're really just like, I ain't really thinking about that. You know, there's a wise saying that go, and I love this. It's actually on my page. The saying is that small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, great minds discuss the future or ideas or whatever. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you telling me that you haven't talked shit about somebody or a situation that you could have not done it, but you
I
did.
probably have, but I can tell you right now in confidence that that's not really my concern. I'm not concerned about anybody. Right, I'm right now at this point in my life. I'm in my fucking lane, and I'm focused on that. I don't give a fuck about what nothing else is going on. Negative with nobody. Who said what? He say, she said. That shit ain't about to make me no money. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And so I can say confident. I don't think I ever been a hater. You know, and I ain't trying to make myself big up because it's really. I just like that's just being a good person. Who the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Why is it so hard just to be a cool motherfucker, just cool with people? I don't think I've been doing comedy for 10 years. I ain't never had no beef with no comedian like that. I don't have no dislike for no comedian. And I say comedian because obviously that's just what the industry that we in. Yeah. But we see a lot of that happening in the industry.
I want to do a challenge for you, for me, and it's not easy, but like it's kind of like a challenge that you just don't put out any negative vibes about something. Like let's say something that happens, you don't like it, you don't complain about it. You say, all right, I'm just gonna do this better. I'm not gonna say nothing negative about anybody. And it's hard because so much of shit that we see on social media and in our world is based in jealousy, negativity, but it takes a conscious effort. That's why I said it takes strength. It takes a conscious effort to not engage in that shit.
Well, yes and no, but you can also remove yourself from it too. That's just as easy. Let me tell you something, bro. Look, and I said this before. If you look on your page, if you look on your Facebook page, you're like, man, Facebook is just so stupid. It's a bunch of ignorant people, whatever. It is, right? You got to look at it like this. When you got on Facebook, let's just say you got on Facebook 10, 15 years ago, you are completely different than who you was 10 to 15 years ago. You've grown as a person. You're not interested in a lot of same stuff that you used to be interested in, whatever. But at the time when you joined Facebook and those friends that came along the way, those are people that you normally wouldn't even like talk to in real life. Those are people that you wouldn't necessarily associate with. However, you are seeing their ideas, you are seeing what they thinking, you are seeing their thoughts every day and every time that you log on to that Facebook, right? And that's inadvertently going into your subconscious, right? All that negative bullshit. So that's why it's like, hey, at some point, it's a good time to either do one or two things: scrub your list, which is time consuming. Who the fuck got all that time to start going through all their friends? Like, look, you ain't talking about shit. You don't be talking about shit. Or you just stay off Facebook, or you limit how much time you get on the Facebook.
But that's not an option as entertainers to stay off social media. Like we are on there constantly promoting stuff.
Well, some people, that's why some like big entertainers have
people who
fan page, so you can't see their content. They can like you and see what you got going on, but you don't give a fuck about what they got going on because most of the time people ain't got shit going on.
I see what you're saying. So they don't. They only operate from their business page.
So I just really think that the best thing to do to even limit that negative energy is to
that's a damn good point. Or have people manage your social media for you.
Right.
So therefore you don't have to even engage because this shit will make you sad.
Right. You see why like certain celebrities don't even look through all their comments. Why even look through them comments? Because like I know like a lot of people, even for me, for example, I might record myself. You know, when I was recording myself a lot of times doing my sets, I wouldn't even look at the video for like a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm my own worst critic. I should have said it like this. Damn, I didn't like how I looked right there. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? For me to actually put out something where people and I like, oh damn, I got 175 comments. I know, even if when I got off stage, I got all these handshakes and attaboys and congratulations. I know that at least 50%. Maybe that's kind of high, but maybe 30 to 50% of people is gonna be hate. Motherfuckers might say some shit that ain't got nothing to do with the set. Hell no, a little dark skin, black as hell. Ooh, oh shit, what are those? Ooh, blah blah blah. Anything, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some type of negativity on that. Look, you can see a video with a man giving CPR to somebody else, another man who he saved his life. A life, oh man, that's what's up, and he saved his life. Somebody is gonna get on there and say, hell no, he had to tongue kiss him to bring him back to life. Oh, gas, whatever. It's gonna be some negative bullshit.
Yeah, but that's not somebody. That's niggas.
It ain't, bro. It ain't just. But you know what? Niggas ain't no people that hate. You know what I'm saying? We see that, but it goes on. It's a lot of subtle hating too. It's hating. Hold on.
It's not just white folks.
But look, this. Me and you can relate to this. Me and you both we both been in corporate America, right? We worked in corporate America. I was in corporate America for 10 years. You was in corporate America in the education field, right?
That's not corporate America, but okay, I hear you.
Well, okay. I was in corporate America, right?
I was an investment broker.
But the thing that's like this. In corporate America, there's hating. People step on other people to get to the top. It's a lot of that shit in there. Oh, such and such did this. Running to the boss, brown nosing, whatever. That's hating. Entertainment. We already know what it is in entertainment. Sports. People hating in sports. You know what I'm saying? People hate in relationships. People hate. I mean, jealousy, envy, hating is one and the same. The thing is, like, how do you really deal with it? You just don't put yourself around it. You know what I'm saying? Now it's so much around you. It's like you almost. That's how I think that when you get older, like your circle of friends start to get shrink. You know what I'm saying? I'm 39 years old. I could say at 29 years old, man, I had a whole bunch of people. My phone stayed buzzing all the time, calling, what up, what you getting into, whatever. But the older you get, the more you start seeing, like, I don't want to really be associated with them. You know what I'm saying? And
I remember those parties you would have at your crib back in like 2013, and you have all these people. I don't see none of them folks no more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
neither. And I ain't talked to some of them in years. As a matter of fact, it's been times where I have seen them out and about. They didn't even speak. Motherfucker, you done been in my house. You done broke bread in my fucking crib, and you can't even say, what up, man? What up? I don't look that much different than what I did in 2013.
Let me ask you a real question then. Do you feel like, because, you know, we deal with a lot of fake shit as comedians, but do you also feel like as you get into that world, and it's something I struggle with because I don't like the fakeness of not just LA, but just Hollywood. It's very, 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 very fake.
Entertainment in general, but yeah.
But the payoff is that you eat very, 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 very well, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to deal with it because you get compensated for the bullshit. But I hate the fact that no one really knows how like what you really feel because you're just trying to keep a job and stuff like that, right? So do you kind of feel like the more you step away from comedy, because I know you said like you kind of still appreciate stand-up stuff like that, but like you haven't really been doing it like that like lately, right? So do you feel kind of like cleansed in a way when you're away from like the energy of comedians and comedy and you're just doing like what you want to do, working out, working on your money, your paper? Like, does that make you feel better?
For myself, yes. You know what I'm saying? Like I love stand-up. I love the relationships, the friends that I've met. I mean, shit, I met you through stand-up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're one of my good friends. You know.
But me and you have a very honest dialect with each other. It's like you'll call me out on my bullshit, I'll call you out on your bullshit. But I also care about you. Like when my dad died, you came to my uncle's house for the repast. I don't think no other comics came to that crib. I think it was just you.
M. Brown came too, though, right? M. Brown was there.
He came to the service. Mm. Did M. Brown come to the barbecue, the repast? I don't think he came, but I mean, I'm glad M. Brown came to that as well. But it's not a bunch of people who really give a fuck about what you're doing, or who want to see you succeed in the first place. To be honest, let's say such and such comic stop doing comedy. Mm-hmm. People are like, oh, that's sucks. But at the same time, they're like, that's one less person I got to worry about. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's a very fucked up thing.
But you know what? To answer your question, you know, whether it's comedy, whether it's fucking wrestling, whether it's fucking arena football, whatever the case is, if I fuck with you, I'll fuck with you. I don't give a fuck what you doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to just be cool with you just because we doing the same thing or we going for the same goal. If you're a good person, you're a good person. That's a rarity nowadays to find just good, genuine people. It's like
so you saying if you meet a wrestler or you meet a person who plays arena football
or whoever.
They're good people. You gonna hang out with them. But that was a very random thing that you just named, though. But yeah.
Well, no. Follow me here. You said that since I've kind of maybe stepped away from comedy a little bit. Well, first and foremost, I think everybody has by force because COVID shut a lot of that shit down. You know what I'm saying? But so I'm not as. But even prior to COVID, you know, I had been really putting a lot of my time and effort and energy into, you know, establishing the business and whatnot with the cannabis business, with all the licenses and whatnot. But I did find out this. It was a few things. One thing is that I noticed that I wasn't around a lot of influences anymore, like alcohol, right? And when I was doing comedy, like tough, I was drinking a lot. I was around friends and peers who drank a lot.
I was there with you,
right? So okay, that was one plus. I'm not drinking as much anymore because I'm not around it. Two, the people, honestly, man, the people never really got to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's one of the things like I already knew even before that happened. You know, I already knew. It's like people that has never supported. When I produced, bro, in my 10 years of doing stand-up, I think I done produced maybe 8 to 10 shows. It's certain comics who has never been to name one of them. Not one. Not to support the mic, not to support the show, unless I was putting money in their pocket. So guess what? I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care. It's people who has never been to my house when I invited them for events. I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? It's certain people, that just never booked me for shows. It did, like, that part never mattered. I just knew who they are, but the thing is, like, it never really affected me. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people who might like really hang on to certain people who's actually kind of climbing the ranks up that I've considered my friends, you know, that even didn't even really throw me an alley-oop. I'm like, damn, I fuck with you the long way. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we did this together and did this for you and all of this, and I don't call it out. I was like, it's just something that you know. Is that hating or whatever? Not necessarily. It's just
that's not hating.
It's just cognitive of what's going on. You know what I mean?
And I don't mind blowing a whistle about stuff, but you know, I mean, as I've told you, I felt like it's people who have been very supportive, who were above me in the comedy game. But then when I got to a certain level where
you're not a threat, you wasn't a threat at that time.
But I shouldn't be a threat. I'm just your peer, right? But I noticed that once I got to a certain level, they weren't being like, "Yo,"
they wasn't as embracing.
Congrats. They were like, I don't talk to you no more, or
for what? And like, what happened, right? See, the thing is, and this is the part about this is how you deal with haters. You don't. That's it. You don't. Actions speak way louder than words. You know what I'm saying? And you can show people better than you can tell them.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's also a human aspect of people who you thought were your friends, who turn out to not be your friends, and then you have to process that emotion and kind of be like, you know what? All right, it is what it is. I'm moving forward, but
you know what, Dave? What happens though?
Of like
after you've experienced that so many times, what starts to happen is a beautiful thing called not giving a fuck. When you get to that point, you know what I'm saying? You so confident in yourself and your abilities, and people can fuck with you or not, and you don't give a fuck. And that means that goes to anybody. Friends. I think that's why Kevin
named his special that. Like he named his last special "No Fucks Given" because he has seen it all. The people who said, "Oh, you ain't funny no more." The comics who were like, "Oh, you funny, but now that you above me, oh, he ain't funnier than me." So I guess at some point Kevin was like, "I don't give a fuck no more," and it sucks that you have to be like that and be like so kind of like have your blinders on, but it seemed like that's the answer.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that haters acknowledge that they are actually haters?
No. A lot of times they don't. Like, they just look at it as like, I don't think they do. I feel like it's on you and not them.
You feel like they think that everything that they saying is justified.
I mean, but a lot of times haters are hurt. Hurt people just hurt people.
And right. So where does it stem from?
You know,
because hate is an emotion, and emotions are stimulated from a trigger or something that happened.
Hold on 1 second, James. This is our producer, James Webb.
What's up, man?
Facebook has the option to bring folks on camera, But that will fuck things up on screen, though, right?
Yes, it will.
Okay, never mind. All right, go ahead, Edot.
No, so I was just saying, and I was asking you, like, do you feel that people actually acknowledge that they are hating because they feel like they're justified in anything that they're saying?
But if the hater is somebody who's like famous or semi-famous, they definitely are not going to do that because their ego is not going to let them do that. You know what I mean? Like you have to have a pretty in tune person that's famous to realize that they're being a dick. You know, so
that comes with reflection.
I don't think so.
That comes with reflection, but sometimes you do kind of have to tell people about themselves from an unbiased position. Like if I'm with you and you say some hating ass shit, then the way I might get through to you is like later on, not at the time why I say because that energy is so strong at the point. But once I catch you with your guard, I'm like, yeah, bro, like what was with that shit you said a couple hours ago about such and such? Oh man, you know, I'm like, bro, you sound like a hater. You know what I'm saying? It take a real motherfucker to call you out. Like, man, go. We gotta address haters one at a time. And like, man, like,
I agree with
like I fucks with you, man, but that's some hating that shit.
It don't even gotta be hostile.
Right.
It's just a conversation.
I do that shit in a minute, man. Like, yo, you sound like a hater, fam. You know what I'm saying? You don't even whatever. You don't even know that man. What you hate?
But a lot of times people deflect and they're gonna be like, oh man, you just talking crazy. And then it turns into an argument because now they feel away because they've been called out, even though they know they're wrong. But that's a whole different conversation.
Well, here's the thing though: if you've hated once, you've hated twice. You know what I'm saying? And again, the thing I think the remedy to being a hater is to pour into yourself and start focusing on you. The problem that I see a lot is that people are so busy trying to impress others. I mean, social media is a prime example. I mean, this is
hard not to. I mean, it's kind of like how you're bred to not even impress others, but the more likes you get, like look at Tony Baker for example. You watch his videos, you know, like are you familiar with Tony Baker?
Yeah.
Right. It's not that people even want to be liked like that. You see the importance of being liked to being given opportunities to do stuff in the industry based upon your following, right? So it's not even about like, I need you to like me. It's like, I need you to like my page so that people think I'm popping. And if I'm popping, and because me and you can have this podcast and it's like, this podcast is a really fucking good podcast. Like it's entertaining, it's informative. We know this, me and you. But if I'm an executive, I'm like, well, they only have 5 viewers right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people put the value in what we have in terms of like who's watching, which is not cool, but that's what the fuck it is a lot of times. Mm-hmm. So people, it's not as much about being liked as it is about being like, in order to like get to the next level, I need to be verified. How do I get verified? I need more likes. How do I get more likes?
But this also like this whole concept of hating, it stems from like a psychological issue, right? And I think it's rooted in validation. Everybody wants to be validated. You know, that's why you got a lot of people and who don't really do anything unorthodox. You know, I would say like doing stand-up is not the norm, right? Or starting a business is not the norm. Or being a stellar athlete is not the norm. Being famous is not the norm. So, and I had to preface that to say, because what I'm about to say, a lot of people who are just normal, whatever, they just normal citizens, they go to work, they go home, whatever. A lot of people are trying to vie for validation, right? That's why they put every little thing that they do as something major. Going on vacation. I bought a fucking new Ford Taurus. Bitch, who gives a fuck that you bought a Ford fucking Taurus, right? It's a Ford Taurus to start off with, right? Look at these shoes I just bought. Oh, look at me loving my children. Who gives a fuck? Everybody needs some validation, right?
Yeah, but a lot of times that's not by validation. They just like happy that they got it. Like,
come on, man, quit being so nice, man. Let's call that shit what it is, bro.
Nah, it's
Let's
not
call that
like,
shit what the fuck it is.
I'm not saying. Look, I know my shoes are fresh. Like I know that. I don't need that to be validated. But like sometimes, like if I get a new pair of shoes, I'll post a picture. Like, you know what? It's my shit. I like it. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Come on, man. That wasn't a strong argument, right? What I'm just saying is this: you go to somebody's Instagram page. You know, the last 8 rows is selfies. You narcissistic motherfucker. You look the same way you did today as you did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, weeks, months ago. Okay, maybe you changed your hair. Unless you got burned in a fire, like, man, my progress is getting better. My side of my left face ain't as melted as it used to be 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I get it.
You come off as a person that's angered by it.
No, bro. This is us having a conversation. I'm not angered by none of that shit. I told you before, I don't give a fuck.
Why do you care?
It's still an observation. We talking about observations here. We talking about people who need validation. You know what I'm saying? People who need validation.
We all need some level of validation, bro.
At some point, but it's false validation on social media where people don't even give a fuck about you. And you know that. But you still want their validation. You know what I'm saying? So when people hate on you, there shouldn't be no surprise because you see it all the time. I think one of the worst things, this is one of my pet peeves. I hate when somebody goes into a business, especially a black business, and put them on blast if they didn't like it. Don't go here. The food is trash. I think that shit fucked up. Have you ever started a business? Have you? Maybe they was short-staffed. Maybe they was whatever the case is. You never know. That shit is a lot of work and it's stressful. And it's always a motherfucker who ain't doing shit, always got to scrutinize some shit. I hate that. That's hating.
That's hate.
That's hating. And it happens all the time. All the time. I think people who scrutinize comedians and actors and singers, like, motherfucker, this dude, a woman probably got way more money than you. They've achieved way more success. They've seen way more things and achieved way more you have in your life.
That person is doing, and they got an opinion about it. I agree.
Right. I'm saying it's like, you know, when people like go like, do I go to your job and scrutinize you about the basic shit that you're doing? Do I do that? Does that person do that? So why the fuck you do it to other people? Again, you almost kind of need haters for validation because if they ain't talking about you, then you ain't popping.
All right. Well, I think that's a really good summation of haters and how this all wraps up. I mean, me and you, like, we work in entertainment, so I feel like it's a little bit harder to unplug from the matrix. But like you said, there are ways for you to do it. Hire people to handle your social media. Because ultimately, the more that you see people's like fucked up views online, like you said, it's gonna make you like feel away.
It can inadvertently cause so much but some people
that's why kids' depression and suicide rates are so high because like when we were just ugly as kids, like in the 90s and the 80s, like you was just ugly or
you didn't even know you was ugly.
You didn't know, but now it's like, you post that picture, you get 2 likes. It's been like 6 hours. You're like, Mama, where's the gun?
That might fuck with your self-esteem.
Where's the gun?
Though. That might fuck with your self-esteem a little bit. But you, first off, you should have known that you ugly as hell. Like, this is a horrible picture. Why am I gonna post it?
But now you get such immediate feedback about stuff. Like back in the day, you didn't get that. Like you just had to realize on your own. Now it's like, no, you ugly. Like for real, like it's fucked up, but it's just we all need to unplug from this shit a little bit. But I think that's the hard part about us being in this industry, but it can be done. Before we get out of here, because we've been on for about 70 minutes now. I don't want to go too long. You people were hating on you today on Facebook because you had a pair of shoes that you want to raffle off.
I don't necessarily think that was saying. I mean, they was some. You know, I still got my argument because I bought them from Nike Town. The Jordan sign is real. They just a little extra than what Jordans really have. Whatever. If it was all in fun, I didn't take it as hating. I just think that's just how people is. Because they didn't. Nobody. The people who roast me for them, they didn't necessarily want the
shoe is not shit. So it's not hating. Like if it was just like, oh, that's a nice shoe, but that shoe is not. That shoe was like a basketball shoe, and then somebody was like, no, let's put a race car shoe inside the basketball shoe. And they're like, no, let's put a soccer shoe inside the basketball shoe and a race car shoe.
That's three sports in one. That sounds like an amazing fucking shoe to me.
So you said that you wanted to give these pair of shoes away today to a raffle or something. I'm like,
yes, if somebody wants, I am raffling off Which number was those? Was they even a number?
The shoe you had?
They still in great condition. I've only worn them one time. It was that night. So
that was it.
In mint condition. Not because y'all said shit. It's because I got shoes that I ain't worn in a minute that I still like. I just got enough shoes to rotate.
Well, you know what? Your fashion. You've always had a very high opinion of yourself, which is a great thing. But sometimes, like, I think you had on them glasses, them fake frame that you wore for a very long time, and I was like, these are so bad. But you rock them. Like I see you talk to women, and they're like, "Ooh, I like them glasses." I'm like, "How is this nigga doing this right now?
Hey,
why
just
does
like the old saying goes, the clothes don't make the man make the clothes. It's all about the attitude, baby. Just gotta, if you like that shit, whatever you do, it's your attitude. You know what I'm saying? I seen motherfuckers at the car wash washing a beater. I'm like, why is you washing that beater? But they love that beater. It's got rust stains. You making it worse. You know what I'm saying? But you putting water and soap in it. But they love to fuck out that motherfucker. They shine up them hubcaps. They put some armor on that dashboard and that peeled off wheel with some fucking the cushion showing underneath the dashboard and things you didn't even know. But it don't matter. They love that beater. They might have an emotional attachment to it. I mean, who are you to say anything about it?
That's one thing I will say about you is that you always had a high version, what's the word? Sense of self. Even if it wasn't called for, even if that jacket wasn't shit, or them jeans or them shoes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, fuck y'all. I know what I'm
working. It was a blend of that, and it was a blend that, like, how the fuck is you gonna talk? Look at you. So that's what it was a blend of. You know, fashion is a big thing here in Chicago, whatever. I just don't like looking like everybody else. Everybody got Jordan.
Chicago has some of the worst fashion I've ever seen in my life.
It does. Before I moved to Chicago, I thought Chicago was fresh as fuck. Then
Chicago is a country ass city. Chicago,
country as hell.
And it's funny, like, because it's like two different worlds, like from north side, south side. But
shit, west side is its own world.
I mean, they own their own worlds, dog. But Chicago is the north of the south. To be honest with you, just like Atlanta is
the New York of the South.
I would say even like the LA of the South, you know. But Chicago is the south of the north. Is what I meant to say. But
what's the big city in the Midwest? But you know, I'm just saying, man. You know, people who are like well cultured, who's traveled a lot and experienced a lot of people, they might not understand their vision or their style or whatever the case is. And so people might talk about them because they don't get it. You know, like, oh man, what type of shoes is those? Oh, that shit look ugly as hell. They could probably be like $700 shoes, but you don't even know that. That's and then 3 years later, once they start catching on, you're like, damn, I got to give me some of them. Like, hey, motherfucker, you just hating on my shoes 3 years ago.
But I feel like the bigger point you're making is like, just do you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the whole theme to this whole show about hating. This was more so like a self-esteem boost type of show.
You are enough.
Confirmation. Right. Like, fuck the haters. The original title for this was going to be fuck these niggas, but we cleaned it up. So just haters don't hate.
Because I promise you, the more that we do, and we're going to do a whole lot more, the more folks you're gonna have being like, you know what, I believe in you, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be that, and
it's not gonna always be authentic either.
No, definitely,
because people will see your progress. Like, man, let me try to get in good now. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't got time for all that, man. But we will see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank y'all. Subscribe to the page, Jays and Grays, on Instagram, Facebook. We will see y'all next week, next Thursday.
Friends, share it. Follow Dave Hellum. That's just Dave Hellum on Instagram and Facebook. Follow myself, Eli Hamilton. James Webb, great producer and our engineer for the show. Follow him as well. And man, we got a great topic for y'all next Thursday too.
And check us out on YouTube, not YouTube soon, on iTunes soon. We will be putting these episodes on iTunes in the very near future. Check out Jason Graves. We'll see y'all next week. Peace out. Say